What up, all my fight fans? So, breaking news just happened not that long ago. Say about what, an hour, a couple hours ago. TJ Dillashaw is retired now from the UFC. And I gotta say, I am kind of shocked. I really did not see that coming. I knew he had a lot of problems. I knew he had a lot of issues regarding his body. He went through a lot of surgeries, a lot of surgeries. I believe he's Jesus Christ. I know he just went over that Aljamain Sterling fight back in October, and he dislocated his shoulder. And I do believe he had some issues with his shoulder prior to that as well, and may have had some surgery on his shoulder as well regarding that. And then he had some issues with his knees, and he was pretty banged up. He's went through a lot regarding his body. So, but still, I felt like he was gonna take some time off, and then he was gonna come back. Now, I still kind of feel that. I mean, this could be just like a burst of a moment. Maybe they're talking to him. Maybe they're telling him like, "Hey, the chances of you fighting again are not very good." That maybe the fact that you're just too banged up, like the shoulder, the knee, and whatever else issues that he had going on, it's just too much for you, and you won't be able to really fight to the caliber that you're really used to fighting at. So maybe this could be a spur of the moment. Maybe with a little rest and more time off for TJ Dillashaw, even though he is getting older. I do believe he's like 35, 36, 37, around that age frame. I do believe a year or two, we could possibly see a return. He could take some time off. He could do some training. He could do some sparring, and you never know. He might be able to feel good. He might come back for the UFC for another go around. You never know. It can never, you can't really count that out. You can't really um, pretty much say no, it's never going to happen anymore, because we've seen it happen plenty of times. We've seen George St. Pierre come back. We've seen, Randy Couture came back multiple times. Yeah, I know what you guys are going to probably say. Well, they didn't have the certain injuries like TJ Dillashaw has had, and that could be true. But nonetheless, still, at the end of the day, I believe TJ Dillashaw is a very strong fighter. He's very competitive. He is definitely determined. He's always been determined to be a champion, to be great. And I do feel like he will come back, but still very, very sudden. Now, with that being said, guys, I want to ask you guys, what is TJ Dillashaw's legacy going to be? Because we do know what happened. What happened to him was the fact that he got popped for steroids. I do believe it was back in geez, it's been a while now. I want to say what, like 2000 and say 18, around that time frame, 2018, 2017. He was training to face Henry Cejudo for a flyweight title shot, and he in that training, I believe he ended up getting popped for steroids. Well, actually, it was after the fight. He tested pop. He tested. I'm not sure if it was steroids, PEDs. I knew it was some kind of performance enhancing drug, like basically PEDs. It was some kind of performance enhancer for him, and yeah, he owned up to it. He admitted it that yeah, he did do this. He was just really determined to face Henry Cejudo and get that championship, that strap. It was going to be for his second title at flyweight, because he was already the champion at bantamweight at the time. And yeah, he popped and he got suspended for 2 years, which took a long time for him, and within those 2 years, he was healing, I believe. He was also training, and he was also recovering from a lot of injuries that he had recently that he didn't get a chance to actually recover from. And then when he came back, he fought Corey Sandhagen. And I believe this was back in, I want to say 2021, July 2021. And in that fight, he actually ended up getting hurt again. Like he did something with his knee, I think it was, in the first round. I believe he said his knee was messed up, but he ended up winning a very close decision. A lot of people actually have Corey Sandhagen winning that fight, but he did win. TJ Dillashaw did win, and then he went on in 2022 of this year, October. He went on and going to face Aljamain Sterling. He went to go face Aljamain. And in that fight, not even in that fight, prior in the training camp, he had a dislocated shoulder. But he went in there with a dislocated shoulder. He went in there with shoulder problems, I believe. I don't think it was completely dislocated at that time, but I believe it was the first takedown attempt. I do believe TJ Dillashaw stopped it and dislocated at that moment. And he just could not defend himself, and I believe he was stopped in the second round. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard because we see TJ Dillashaw in his career, that great fight that he had with Dominic Cruz, those epic wars. I want to say wars, but the personal battle that he had with Cody Garbrandt, those two fights, and what he was able to do with Renan Barão. He was a really good champion. He was a really good champion at that time, but it is sad because, he did pop for steroids. And the one thing about steroids, or a PED, whatever you want to call them, Um, he you just don't know. And that's the same thing I say by Anderson Silva, same thing I say about John Jones. That's the same thing I say about anybody that has used any kind of performance enhancers. You just don't know. We know when you got caught. We just don't know when you started using them. And of course, there's all this talk about he possibly was on it all this time from Cody Garbrandt in the training camp and all that stuff. But that could have been just hearsay. Could have been just, they were having beef with each other. So yeah, at the end of the day, that could have just been heated words exchanged. But still, you just don't know, and that's the problem. And that's what's sad when you do get popped for something like that. I feel like he didn't. I feel like he didn't use it the entire time. That's just me personally. He did own up to it. That's something that very few people actually do. When they do get popped for steroids, like, hey, you know what? I did do this at this time. I did, but you never know. You never know. I do feel like that's going to be something he's relatively going to be very, very known for, is for that. PED that he got caught for that. But still, I do appreciate everything that TJ Dillashaw was able to do for the UFC. He had a lot of exciting fights. I was very much looking forward to him to return. Hopefully he does. But if at the end of the day, if his body can't do it, then it just can't do it. Why push it? Why risk it all? Why sacrifice even more? It's bad enough, I'm sure. Like, you look at all these UFC guys at the end of the day, I hear it all the time from all these different podcasters who, they talk about all the surgeries they got to deal with and all the pain that they deal with every single day. So, yeah, if you're already in pain, you're already dealing with certain issues within your body, then why put your body through that much more stress? Why put your body through that much more torture, to get something? I get it. You're a fighter. There's people out there. There's fighters out there, I should say, that are just determined fighters. It doesn't matter how much money they have in the bank. It doesn't matter how much, how hurt they are. It's what's in them. It's who they are. And I do feel like TJ Dillashaw, that's who he is. He's a fighter, and he's always going to be that competitor. And he's been a competitor ever since he was wrestling in college, I believe. So yeah, it's very unfortunate that he's gone, but at the same time, hopefully he does take care of himself. I don't feel like, I do feel like it is going to be a big part of his career, which just so happens to be the performance enhancers. But at the same time, I do feel like the competitor, the champion, the toughness, the dedication is also going to be a part of his career as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys think regarding TJ Dillashaw. What are you guys going to be, what do you think of his career overall? What is your favorite fight? What is your favorite matchup? What is some of your favorite moments of TJ Dillashaw? Do you think he's going to come back at all? Just let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.